This question is for the Deputy Premier. During the Scarborough by-election, your government bragged about Scarborough Subway, but you have failed to deliver any transit north of Highway 401 in Scarborough. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, in my community, there
Minister of the Environment and Climate Change is warned. Stop the clock. If different acknowledgement is necessary, I'll accept. Seeing none. Finish, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I repeat, in my community, there has been absolutely no transit expansion during the time this Liberal government has been in office. Recently, the Premier appointed Shelley Carroll as a candidate in Don Valley North. Ms. Carroll is a loud opponent to the Scarborough Subway project. Deputy Premier, will your government continue to stall on construction on the Sheppard Scarborough Subway to make Shelley Carroll happy?
Thank you. Deputy.
Minister of Infrastructure.
Minister of Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, strange things happen in this place. we seem to have a recollection, and I'm reminded by the member beside me from Scarborough, that that member, when he was on Toronto City Council, voted against the subway. So Mr. Speaker, and he fails to recognize, Mr. Speaker, that it takes time to plan, to do the financing, to do the procurement. Mr. Speaker, it's not going to happen tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. We are on that file, Mr. Speaker. We have said we are going to go forward with it, Mr. Speaker, and there's nothing else we can do other than cooperate with the City of Toronto, cooperate with Infrastructure Ontario to go move forward to make this happen. And I'm very, very pleased to hear that you now support.
Thank you. Order. Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I could put my hand on Bible. Every time survey issue come up in the council, I strongly supported them. Mr. Speaker, this is just more talk and no action by this failed government. Frankly, it's all hard to believe. During election,
My resolve hasn't changed. Please.
yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. During election, they promised great ideas, but after election, they failed to deliver. Not only that, they ignored them. And this is why I'm here today in this legislature. The only action that the Liberal Party has taken is appointing a candidate who is firmly against the Scarborough Subway. Deputy Premier,
Question.
can your government and your candidate in Don Valley North come clean and admit that you simply do not support the Sheppard Subway in Scarborough?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it was with great pleasure that I refer this to the member from Scarborough Centre. Thank you.
To be done properly, simply refer to the other minister, please.
Economic Development and Growth, Speaker.
and maybe his good friend Doug Ford would remember this very clearly, because it was on TV. It was taking place during the council agenda when you were criticizing Doug Ford for building the Scarborough Subway.
Please. Chair.
The member was criticizing Doug Ford for building the Scarborough Subway, so his recollection may be different than his brand-new friend Doug Ford's recollection of that issue. But what I want to say on behalf of the members that are on this side of the House, these members fought very hard to ensure, despite the challenges going on when that member was at the city, of the city continually changing their position on this, we stood strong for the Scarborough Subway. This government stood strong for the Scarborough Subway. Every single member from Scarborough here stood strong for the Scarborough Subway. It's going to happen. It's being built. It's on time. It's going to be on budget. It's going to be delivered, despite the fact that member that didn't support it in the first place, despite what that member says, Mr. Speaker.
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. New question. The member from Timiskaming.